Hoosiers will find a constitutional amendment on the ballot this November for the first time in 6 years. This amendment would protect a citizen's right to hunt and fish, but as Nick Jansen reports, it has some people wondering what it will actually do.
NRA member Larry Becker is a landscape contractor in Fishers. He says hunting, fishing, they're important traditions to him.
When you get down into camp, it has very little to do with killing a deer or catching a fish. That is fun and it's a great experience, but time in camp, just in fellowship with people, telling stories and reliving the past and planning the future that's what's valuable.
Public question number 1 asks voters to forever preserve a Hoosier's right to hunt, fish, and harvest wildlife. This is the only constitutional amendment on the ballot this year, and Hoosiers will have the option of voting yes or no. Over the last 20 years, Hoosiers have voted on 10 amendments, and all 10 passed with high voter approval of 70, even 80%. Erin Huang hopes this amendment reverses the trend. She's the director of the Humane Society in Indiana, which lobbies against some types of hunting.
We really focus our efforts and focus what we work on as far as wildlife and hunting issues to the worst types of wildlife abuse. So, for instance, captive hunting, which has been a big battle here in Indiana for the past 10 to 13 years.
This amendment doesn't affect those lobbying battles, but the Humane Society opposes it on principle because the amendment isn't really expected to change anything. While the Department of Natural Resources manages hunting and fishing practices in Indiana, the legislature is the only group that can change hunting and fishing laws. That's true now, and it'll remain true even if the amendment passes. So, Huang says, if nothing changes, there's not a good reason to do anything.
It is such an important decision to amend the Constitution. It's the Constitution.
But others say Hoosiers need to do something to protect the status quo. GOP Representative Sean Eberhart sponsored the amendment. He said in a statement that hunting and fishing are part of our heritage, and that now is the right time to make this type of decision. 19 other states have right to hunt and fish amendments. Vermont passed the very first one in 1777, but the rest have all come since 1996. In addition to Indiana, Kansas will also vote on a right to hunt and fish amendment this year. The National Rifle Association supported all of these efforts, including Indiana's. It helps legislators pass the necessary bills and mobilizes public support among its members. Catherine Mortensen is an NRA spokesperson in Washington, D.C.
This is really something for future generations to ensure that future generations of hunters and fishermen in Indiana have that right.
The NRA, supporters, legislators, none of them have pointed to a specific future threat to hunting in Indiana. And Humane Society Director Huang says this is why the amendment is unnecessary.
And even though this language may just say, do you believe people should have the right to hunt, just keep in mind that this is a right that people already have, that's not being taken away from anyone.
Still, Larry Becker doesn't want to take any chances.
Boy, I just would hate to have wake up one day and find out because I didn't do something or take the right stand that it's not available to my grandkids.
For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Nick Jansen.